Hey guys, Tomboy601, and it's the last Friday of this update, so you know what that means. We are going to go do our update review. If you don't know what this is where we look back at the previous update and give it a letter grade. That way, there's an easy way to look back through all of the updates, understand what we thought about them in the moment, and kind of give Wargaming a letter grade on their performance. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you stick around. Also, there may be a little hidden something somewhere in this video. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and dive on in and talk about this update. First things first, of course, this was the holiday update. There was a bunch of good and bad in the holidays. In this holiday update, we had the introduction of Winter Shards and the implication of Yoshino, we'll call it. I think after the first week, we realized it wasn't going to actually be a free legendary. It was definitely going to be one that you used Winter Shards as a discount for. And that meant, for a lot of people, it became, what else can I spend those Winter Shards on? And initially, I would say the outlook as to what you could spend the Winter Shards on wasn't that great. It was like a Super V container, i.e. a free tier 5 premium. You could go and buy a ton of this super secret Santa crates, which would then get you closer to being able to pull a guaranteed premium if you bought like an additional 5. That was one option. And I was kind of up in the air as to what was really worth those shards. And then they added the old event commanders. And I have to give credit to Wargaming here because adding the previous event commanders of Wargaming's design, i.e. the ones that aren't tied to any previous IP, mainly the Halloween ones, was an excellent play. And I'll be honest, it is the highlight of this update for me. It didn't really affect me, but what it did and what it gave, the ability for people to get some of the most powerful commanders in the game and not drop a dime on them. I have to give Wargaming huge props on that. Like, we'll call them out when shit's bad, but when things are good, we need to give them credit. And I think them going and making some of the best commanders, some of the most desirable commanders outside of the Azur Lane ones, available for free using an event currency, and even not really a huge amount of the event currency, meant you could relatively easily acquire some of the best ones. You could easily get your hands on Hyde. You could easily get your hands on Spacefish. You could easily get your hands on Lightful. You can easily get your hands on Mortif. Like, the ones that, you know, me and a bunch of the other CCs recommend in nearly every single video where we're using a class set is applicable to them. To be able to put them out for free, once again, huge plus there. Additionally, we have the Advent Calendar. The Advent Calendar, I'm going to say it was a bit of a meh to me, just because the ultimate prize was just a guise. Personally, I have almost every single guise, and I don't use them. That's mainly up to the fact that because I make videos all the time, I'm constantly going into the commanders, showing off my commanders, and it's way easier for screenshot and readability for, like, to be able to show the commander and just be that commander, as opposed to here's the guys with this commander underneath them. So for me personally, I don't use guises ever, but I also feel like I don't see many guises out there at all. I don't think the community really enjoys guises. So for that to be the coup d'etat, the grand prize of the Advent Calendar, I think it's a little bit of disappointment, especially when we look back and we did the poll this update as to what people's favorite ship of the year was, and Agincourt was on there. Agincourt, if you don't remember, was available in a very similar style thing, where you played for 3 weeks straight every single day doing challenges. You could win Agincourt for free. And I think the Advent Calendar was a bit of a miss. The contents within it, what you could get, pretty good, but as far as the grand prize, I think a little bit of a miss. After that, we did have and then we did have some new winter ships introduced, which I felt a little bit weird with. The only ones that really moved the needle for me was Algerie W, just because Algerie W gets the main battery reload booster, and it showed the viability of putting the reload booster as a swappable consumable for the engine boost on the French cruisers, as that for an option for that, because I personally don't want to give my main battery reload booster up on like Charles Martel for sonar. I do because it's like the meme thing to do, but I don't think it's really worth the choice there. Cruisers should have sonar, so I liked being able to have that choice. Not that we will really, I expect many people really end up getting that. Cool. After that, we have our two campaign ships, Marlborough and Marco Polo, and I think both of these ships are fun. I personally preferred Marlborough, but I think Marco Polo will be the more effective ship, will be the better scoring and performing ship. But as far as fun, all the guns, I'm always gonna go for Marlborough. And for me, I was really happy to see these two ships. I think they are both somewhat unique, and they provide a little bit twist on the gameplay. Would have liked to have seen SAP secondaries on Marco Polo, but I understand with it getting the SAP primaries, there is the trade-off and the option there. Personally, I wasn't too impressed with SAP primary battleship shells. I am looking forward to the SAP coming over to the cruiser lines, but yeah, I wasn't too impressed with those. And ultimately, I run my Marco Polo without any SAP, which just makes it a regular tier 8 battleship. But even then, it's a fun one. It gets smoke, it has a bit of options. And, well, Marlborough is the one that really stole my heart here. After that, we did have a couple of new ships come to the game. None really for direct sale. I thought they were going to put mines on direct sale, but I don't think it is up for direct sale even now, which is a bit weird, making it a crate exclusive. Mind you, I think it is a little bit better than the default mines, or the mines CE now, but mines coming out was a bit weird. Kurosami, a transforming ship being locked into a super prize, also a very weird decision that I did not like overall. I think it was a very poor choice on their end to lock a ship to super prize, and one that they could have easily put in to a collaboration with the Transformers. Like, it's a transforming ship, put it in with the Transformers. We also got Elbing this update. Elbing was incredible, a free GXP ship. Of course, it hadn't been in the game previously if you decided to spend all your money in dubs, but if you decided that that wasn't what you wanted to do, you finally got access to her in this update. Always love a GXP ship, and a fun one at that, being available for the good old doubloon. So happy for that one to come along. And then finally, the other new ship was Yoshino. And, well, it's a great ship. It's a fun ship. It's just tragic the way that they went about releasing it. I really do struggle wanting to play that ship, given what felt like the monetary requirements in order to obtain it. I got it as part of being a CC, and I'm one who is hesitant to play it just because it feels like a ship where you needed a bit of a whale call in order to obtain it, and it feels a little weird going about and playing it, especially when other people probably didn't have the resources in order to obtain it. But that's that. The last thing that was kind of a change in this update was the elimination of AP from secondaries, or anti-torpedo boat armaments. A bit weird. I'll be honest, I didn't feel the real change. I feel like it probably affected some of the lower down tier battleships the most, just because the AP could do some real stuff to enemy boats down there. But as it stands now, I really didn't feel much of the change. So with all of that said, my letter grade on this is like a B+. even with all the negativity around Yoshino, the thing that stood out to me was making those commanders free, making them the ability to acquire them for free, with the winter shards. I think that speaks volume. That was the star of this update for me, even though it didn't really affect me as far as the ability for other players to be able to acquire those. I think it was absolutely incredible. So yeah, that's why I'm giving this update overall a B+. Guys, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.